managed stress throughout my life has changed. I mean, if you don't have any stress, you're dead, or you're asleep. There's no other alternative. I mean, we all know, you have to have stress in order to do a day. So the question that you're asking is the correct question. How do you manage stress? So I manage stress in all sorts of different ways in my life, and like all of us, there are good ways and there are bad ways. And sometimes I still manage it the bad way. But it's interesting because I have lots of good ways that I manage stress. So I meditate every day, and I love that. That's important to me. And I have people saying to me, how do you find the time? And it's pretty simple, because I prioritize it. I set my alarm early, and then I have other people saying to me, oh, I can't meditate, it's too hard. Well, is it too hard to look after your kids? That was hard at the beginning. Is it too hard to give an interview? That's hard at the beginning. It's only what you want to make hard, what you want to prioritize, and what you want to work at, and what you make important. So to me, it's meditation. It's breathing, which is meditation. So if you find yourself in a stressful situation, pause, breathe, walk away if you can. If you can't, pause, listen. Don't connect to the emotion of the moment. Respond. Do not react. And that has been incredibly helpful for me. I haven't always been like that, and I'm not perfect, and nobody is. And that's the other thing that we don't realise. You don't actually have to get it right all the time. Just making the effort. And it's called a practice for a reason, because it is practice, and the more you practice, the better you become good at it. So if you practice meditation, and if you don't like the word meditation, you practice breathing. You don't have to do 20 minutes or half an hour, and there's no right, there's no wrong. Do 5 minutes. It's a start, and what you find is you get better at it. And then if you do it in times of calm, when it's stressful, it comes naturally. And maybe you'll do that positive thing rather than the negative thing. And that's what I've found. The other things that I find incredibly good for me that help me manage stress is yoga. I do a lot of yoga. I do yoga, I don't know, at the moment 5 times a week. Pretty social week last week, so maybe 3. But I exercise pretty much every day. Occasionally I don't. I walk my dog on the beach, and I walk and meditate. I make 3 commitments to me every day. I commit, and this is very personal, but I commit to being kind to other people. I commit to being in the present moment. And I commit to loving myself completely as I am. Now, they're very hard commitments if you think about it, but they're ultimately achievable if you say them to yourself, and I say them to myself every day when I'm walking my dog. So I make time to exercise, I make time to meditate, I make time to breathe. I try and do an acronym, which I think is HEAL. If I get triggered, I halt, I expand, I bring my attention to my heart, and I give a loving response. Not all the time. Oh my gosh. And I do yoga. And I try to focus on doing things that I love.
I don't have any silver bullets with stress, because I went through an interesting phase of kind of trying all of these other things that people had said had worked for them, and just finding that they just didn't work for me, I just don't like yoga, and I wish I did, and I tried so hard for so long, like literally years, to enjoy standing in a room and doing yoga with a class of people. And I tried various different kinds, and I tried with different friends, but it just didn't really do anything for me. And I think the sooner that you realize that stress, not only is stress subjective, and different people feel it different ways, different people feel different levels, but different people need to address it in different ways. And what might be unwinding for some is not necessarily unwinding for others. Personally, the best method for me is hanging out with my kids. And I think children have this insane ability to bring you back down to earth, because they just find so many small things so exciting that all of a sudden you realize that actually what you were worrying about, it is, of course it's stressful, but at the end of the day you'll get through it, and the sun will come up tomorrow. And I remember, and I don't know if this is an appropriate analogy to give you, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. I remember my dad, before I had George, I was like so nervous about childbirth because, you know, you read all these things and people tell you all these things, and I'd been working, of course, and I'd not really thought about it until I was like 38 weeks that, oh, I was going to have to kind of give birth to this baby. And we were in this cafe, and there was like, you know, I don't know, 40 or 50 other people around, and Dad said, you seem a bit off today. And I said, I'm just actually kind of scared. I said, I haven't been, but for the first time I'm thinking about this and I feel stressed about giving birth. And he was like, you know what, Jess, every single other person in this room is the result of childbirth. And all of a sudden I thought, you're right, I'm not the only one that's been here. And I think, to be honest, that's part of the beauty of Co.OfWomen, is realising I'm not the only one that's felt this. Everyone's felt it to some degree, and hearing some of the stories that come through from other people trying to grow something or create something or build something, you know, we've all been there. And the most important part is knowing that others have been there and then working out what works for you in terms of